Excellent. So tonight's Dharma talk is about your thoughts, feelings, and sensations are not your identity. And so what I mean by that is a lot of people run through their lives with thinking that their mind and what they think is who they are. And so by sitting in zazen or sitting in seated meditation, you actually get to separate yourself from your thoughts and also your feelings and your sensations, because they're happening all the time in you, whether you know it or not. So there's always sensations taking place. Sometimes you may experience them from, we say in Hawaii, chicken skin or goosebumps. Sometimes the butterflies in your stomach, that gut instinct that you may feel, or that sensation of something that's maybe communicating to you faster than you're thinking. And then the feelings, is like being mad, sad, glad, fear, shame, feeling all those emotions in a human body. They're always happening. It's whether there's an awareness to that I don't have to attach to or identify with them. I can get information from sensations. I can get information from feelings, and I can get information from thoughts, but it's not who I am at my essence. And so the body is really a tool or having an experience in this body of thinking, feeling, and sensations. And when I sit in zazen, when I sit in seated meditation, I get to actually take a step back from it and like get that 30,000 foot view of even myself sometimes, of saying, wow, look at how fast my mind thinks and races. So I'm neurodivergent, I'm ADD and dyslexic. So I move at a very fast rate in my thinking, and a lot of times, especially when I was younger, I would attach to it and identify with my thinking and be run by fear, shame, just self-hatred. I used to just play the gamut on myself, and being raised with two Zen teachers, both my parents are Zen priests, that I wasn't aware of the processes that were happening. Now I'm 56 and I've raised a couple kids, and so when I sit, I can really see that my mind's moving at a very fast rate, but it's not who I am. And so that alone is recognizing that I can be with you without letting my mind have to have the answer, have to have the right thing to say. I said your name wrong in the beginning. It's like that kind of, like, my mind was racing when I was thinking, when I was sitting. I was like, literally, it was going through the letters in what I was reading, going, that wasn't Dale, that was Dylan. And it was like just playing, and I just returned back to my breath. The practice of returning back to your breath separates me for a split second from any feelings I'm having. If it was like this energy of, I think for me, I used to go to shame a lot and being dyslexic and saying things right or wrong or trying to perform, and that I could feel the sensation of shame and not let that actually be who I am, but it's just something that happens to my body. And then the thoughts were going, and it was just playing really fast, and I was like, man, to be here with the both of you and be sitting together. And I was feeling Ed is in New York, and he got up at 12:30 at night to sit with us. It's like, okay, that feels really good to my heart, and I could feel the emotion in that, and getting to feel your energy on here, even without your camera, at first, So just to really know that sitting, in the practice of sitting on a daily basis, why I encourage to do it every single day, even if it's for 1 minute to start. And I always like to encourage to work up to that 20 minutes in the morning. I like to say to rise, pee, meditate, or I'm a car guy, the RPM, the RPM on a car, right? Well, so you RPM every morning, you just get up, you don't you don't drink the coffee, you rise, you pee, and you meditate for 1 minute, 20 minutes, and it's following your breath. Have you ever heard of the term Hara? Okay, so 3 inches below your belly button is your Hara, and that's a Japanese word that in English would translate into your center. And your Hara is the center point of your body. In martial arts, they may use the term chi, or energy, or tanden, or in Hawaiian they say na'au. If you've ever heard that term before, na'au. Yeah. Yeah, like live in the. I used to have a shirt, live in the na'au, and people they'd go, live in the now, and it'd be like, no, na'au, and na'au translates into gut. And if you think about it on the surface level of I say hara for Japanese, that your hara is like your gut instinct. Yeah. And so the more that you breathe into your hara, it'll stimulate it to actually be more awake and alive. When you're first born and you come out of your mother's womb, you actually are only operating from your hara, not your thinking, because your mind isn't developed yet. And then as you start to age, it starts to pull away from your hara and go up into your head. And as adults, what I like to say is our job is to return back down into your hara and develop a relationship with that innate place that you were born with. And so by getting up and meditating in the morning, and I meditate at night and in the morning, sometimes in the middle of the day. You fly a helicopter?
Yeah, I'm a nurse, yeah.
Oh, nurse, okay. So,
but on the helicopter.
yeah. So it's like, being under duress or being under intense situations where you're with somebody and like breathing in your hara when you're with somebody creates a different experience for you and the person you're with.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get that because you do it.
Yeah.
I believe, like someone like yourself, you already do it to be able to be in the field, and I'm going to bring consciousness to it right now.
Yeah, I love that.
Right? And so that you bring consciousness to it. The next time you're sitting with a patient and you're diaphragmatic breathing into your belly, have you heard of that term, diaphragmatic?
Yeah.
Right, that nice deep breath. You can't think of thoughts, but you can really feel that center point or your hara in your body. And so here you have a whole flight from Kona or wherever you're at all the way to Oahu. And to like really bring that intentionality to like, I'm sitting with this person, I'm going to say keeping them alive or and being in your body and present, not identifying with the thoughts, not identifying with your feelings, but being present and aware at a very, very highly tuned level.
I love that.
And so sitting every single day develops that to be more and more as a baseline of your operating system, more than my cerebral functioning, my dad would say.
Yeah.
Right? And so that way of functioning is something that happens to you naturally because we're human. And so as we sit, we get to practice at being in our body, being in relationship with your hara, feeling the sensations in your body, feeling the emotions in your body, and watching your thinking, but not identifying with them as that's your who you are or your reality, using them as information more than identification. That's cool to me. That's, it's like,
I love that.
wow, I don't have to identify with that, like I was saying, that shame that I was just
Yeah.
feeling that, and then I could come on here and I'm like, Dylan, it's not Dale. And I was totally, in relationship with you, right? And just own it up and get to connect with you like this, right?
Absolutely. Well, it almost, I mean, there's always something you can take from these things. And I was feeling a lot of, or not a lot, but I was feeling some shame for just not timing this better and being in my car. And that's why I didn't turn my camera on. And I found myself in the same spot about a couple minutes into the meditation of like, okay, I got to leave the shame and take pride in the fact that I made it. And so your talk is also spot on for what I'm feeling today.
Good. So
Which is
you're
awesome.
right into the right. You're in it right now,
Yeah,
just like we were both in it, in our own unique
absolutely.
way. And so, as we move into this next meditation, to have that awareness of diaphragmatic breathing while we're sitting here. You can do this anywhere, right? It's like you're in the most perfect spot you could be in right now because it brought that stuff up for you, and then here this talk relates to you perfectly, right?
Yeah,
And you jumping on and not having your camera on gave me the opportunity at the same time to deepen my work with my shame and what I who I think I am of that and what that means. And oh, look, what does it mean? It literally means nothing.
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
what the what is the only thing that gives things meaning is the meaning I give it.
I never heard that, but I really like that.
And so if I don't give shame a meaning and just say, oh, that's an interesting feeling and it's not bad, right? Or I can go, man,
Yeah,
this hurts, this sucks, I'm a piece of shit. That's the meaning I
yeah,
give it,
yeah.
right? And so to really work with that as we sit for these next 10 minutes together, and be with your hara, be with the sensations, be with your feelings, and be with your thoughts, and return back to your breath and not let your mind like keep you away from being present here with me and you over a Zoom call.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm going to ring the bell
Perfect.
3 more times. Ding. You saw how I did that?
Hmm.
Okay, and then we'll bow together, and then we'll sit for 10 minutes, and then I'll ring the bell 3 more times, and then we can close with a short checkout for each other since we're
Yeah.
on it together, and I'm just getting
Awesome.
to know you. So I appreciate you
Sounds
joining me
perfect.
again, and I look forward to it. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Yeah, thank you
Also,
for letting me join.
I do, man. This is my. I live for this kind of thing. So
Awesome.
I do have a YouTube channel if you want to jump on YouTube and
Okay.
Tony Bonici slash Dojo X, like an
Okay.
X, and I put these online so that my Dharma talks. I do the hour-long sittings of the past ones, um, just to encourage meditation. And if you want to sit with
Yeah.
Sangha in the morning, you can put it on for the 10-minute sitting or
That's amazing because
that.
I do, yeah, I look for different ways to meditate. Like, I do some on my own, but I do a lot of guided meditation and stuff like that. And I really resonate with this so far, so I'll
Yeah,
definitely check that out.
cool. And then I have how to meditate. I got a bunch of those on there,
Oh,
and
cool.
I describe it a lot in the group settings when I get a lot of new people in the room, and then finally, just as an encouragement, at my website, dojox.co, or my name, Tony Bonici, roshitonyb.com. I have a meditation manual that's free to download, and that'll take you through exactly the form that we're doing here.
Very cool. Okay.
And when you do just signing up for that, I put out a weekly newsletter to encourage and to remind you of today.
Oh, cool.
So if you
Okay.
wanted to sign up
Awesome.
for that. So I got a bunch of resources out there is what I'm trying to
That's
say,
awesome. I could use all of
Dylan, and anything I can do to support, you in that. And you're with one of the most profound teachers in my life.
Very aware of that. He's
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah. I've known him for 15, going on 20 years, and he's been a teacher, a mentor, a student, a colleague in my life at a very deep level. And so I'm honored that he invited you and getting to know you better.